Before we get into the episode, I am thrilled to announce that the EntreMD Business School is open for enrollment. The EntreMD Business School is the only school of its kind for physicians who want to build 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure businesses. Over the last 2 years, we have had hundreds of doctors go through the school with unbelievable results. Some of them run brands, some of them run private practices, some of them are coaches, some have other kinds of service-based businesses or product-based businesses. And we've had people come in and cross the 6-figure milestone, cross the 7-figure milestone, cross the multiple 7-figure milestone. You will be in a place where you'll get the coaching, the community, the accountability that you need to thrive as an entrepreneur, especially in the times that we're in. So maybe you've been following me for a while. Maybe you've been getting so much out of the EntreMD podcast and you've been wondering, how can I work with Dr. Una and the community more? Well, this is your chance. Come join us in the EntreMD Business School. It is application only. So go to entremd.com/business to turn in your application. I cannot tell you how many doctors have made statements like this. I recovered my investment in the first week. I recovered my investment in my bank account in the first 90 days. This is the best investment I've made in myself ever. I want you to have that kind of story, not just a story of building a great business that serves a lot and earns a lot, but having a business that gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. So don't wait any longer. entremd.com/business. And now for the episode. Hi, docs. Welcome to the EntreMD podcast, where it's all about helping amazing physicians just like you embrace entrepreneurship so you can have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on your terms. I'm your host, Dr. Una. Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of the EntreMD podcast. So you're going to be totally tickled by this, but I'm supposed to do a podcast interview. And I thought it was 9:30 and it turns out it's 11:30 and I was already here, all set, had my mic on, had my headphones on, ready to talk to the world about what I do and how I can help and serve and all of that. And I was like, wow, it's not for another 2 hours. And I had two options. I was like, I could just go back, find something else to do, or since I'm already here, I can record this for you. And this is going to be so much fun because this is straight from the heart. This is real life experience. It's not completely unscripted, or rather not outlined. Like I have, thought about it a little bit, but this is just going to be fun. Okay. So I was like, what can I do? I was like, you know what? Why don't I talk to my docs about what really happens in the business school, in the EntreMD Business School? What really happens behind the scenes? And I'm going to be telling you from the perspective of the doctors who are in it, not necessarily just my opinion. My opinion is that it is the number one business school for physician entrepreneurs. And if you feel like you want to be an entrepreneur, this is a school for you. That's my opinion. Okay. But I'm going to tell you their opinion. Okay. And what really goes on. All right. So you get all the deets. And by the time we're done, I think you'll have all of your questions answered. And for some of you, this is not for everybody because we have a cap, but for some of you, you go like, okay, I have those questions. I'm all in. Okay. All right. So let's go into this. So what happens? I'm going to give you 6 things. So the first thing that happens is that we have weekly live sessions. Okay. Every single week, you get an opportunity to meet with your cohort, the rest of the students in the business school, with me. Sometimes we would have a guest. We have different kinds of meetings, but every week there is a meeting. Now, for me, I find this really helpful for a number of reasons, but one of them is, your motivation, your inspiration, and all of that. I mean, it wears off. It wears off. And entrepreneurship is a lot of fun, but it is also hard. And to have a place where you can go get questions answered, you can hear people share their wins, and you're like, oh my goodness, we're doing it. We can do this, all of that. To have that every single week kind of keeps you in momentum every single week. And even if you start off super scared, like I have people who it may take them even a few weeks or a few months to really get into it, right? And I understand that because I was a late bloomer, if you will. Like the first time I was exposed to entrepreneurship, I'm like, I don't think I can do that. I felt like a fraud, an imposter, but I had an opportunity every week to get some buy-in. And that's what that creates for you. But anyway, it's motivation. You have obstacles. You can get coaching. So you can get those obstacles removed. It is so encouraging. So encouraging because every week somebody has some kind of win to report. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, but some kind of win to report, some kind of obstacle they overcame, some kind of hardship they overcame, some mindset shift that they had. And it's just encouraging to know, okay, the challenges are normal. It's a rite of passage. The crazy thoughts that we think, that's normal. Like everybody's going through them. And in spite of that, we're still doing these amazing things. So it really is so cool. You get strategies because some of them are like, this is how to do XYZ. This is how to speak from stage to grow your business. This is how to do a Facebook Live. This is how to launch a podcast. This is how to build a team. This is how to build a team with little or no money down. This is how to create an irresistible offer. Like there's a lot of tactical as well. Okay. And then there's peer learning. There's peer learning because we have what we call EBS masterminds, where we would have smaller groups. So you have maybe a 6 to 9 to group, and you can ask questions, you can share challenges, you can share wins and get feedback from your classmates as well, which is so fun. Like after the first time I tried it, everybody's like, oh my goodness, when are we doing the next one? I'm like, okay, all right, I'm here. And so that's a lot of fun. Okay. And so we get that not once in a while, but every single week. This is happening in the EntreMD Business School. Okay. And I want to show you some of the things that we've done recently. So we had the identity shift workshop. Like if you want to elevate your self-concept, how do you do that? We had one that was a laser coaching on money, like all these money hangups. Let's get rid of them. We did a strategy session. What's your biggest obstacle? We did sales mastery, knowing your value. We did your business model. We did the finish your quarter strong workshop. We did the influence the influencer masterclass, how to pitch to media, the irresistible offer workshop, the power of your story, how to nail your signature talk, obstacle crusher laser coaching session. Like it's just crazy, right? Like just stuff like that. But this is every single week. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that everybody has access to the vault. And so whether that's video, like depending on how you like to learn. So video, everybody has a portal. They can go in and watch every replay of everything that has happened in the business school from its inception. Like they're all there. Okay. And so it's all there. If you missed a class, there's some people who had a season where they were working on Wednesday evenings, so they couldn't come for the live sessions. And so they just set their thing that Thursday morning, this is what they do. Because usually the videos are uploaded the night of the call. And so that gets done. And they have access. You have access to it. We also have a private podcast. So if your thing is you want to listen instead, you're a runner and stuff like that, or you love taking walks, then you can do that too. So either private podcast or video have access to the vault. So we had trainings we did a while ago, like how to build a team with no money down. And everybody has access to that. How to create an online course, like especially if you hate tech. And that was such a beautiful classic training, and it's there, right? And so they have access to the vault. So that's number 2. Number 3, they have access to monthly challenges, okay? I cannot begin to describe to you how wild our challenges are. Okay, so we've done a Facebook Live challenge. We've done a podcast tour challenge. We've done a signature talk challenge. We've done a speak to grow challenge. We've done the ask a day challenge. And with every challenge, everybody who was involved is like, oh my goodness, because they have mindset shifts, changes. They get to do things they've never done before, and they get results they've never gotten before. It is so wild, like really, really wild. Okay. So they get that. All right. They get that. And I want to read to you. Right now, we're in the middle of a 14-day momentum challenge in the general Facebook group for the EntreMD community. And if you're not a part of it, you should be. It's entremd.com/join, or just look for EntreMD in the search bar, you find it. And we're doing the challenge there. I want you to read the challenges so you know I'm not making this up, right? So that you know this is real. You can go see it for yourself. I can't let you into the business school to see it, but I can let you see this one. And this is a 14-day challenge in that group. And I was like, so what are your wins? There's like over 50 comments here, right? And I'm just going to pull out a number of them. Dr. Lou Mitchell, who is a physician and an artist, she's like, had a mindset shift. I had new clients for commissioned art pieces. I had my art auctioned. I'll be featured in a magazine for my art. I've done several Facebook Lives, and I'm building my self-confidence and putting more of myself out there, not just as a physician, but an entrepreneur and an artist. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Okay. And I totally shouted her out. Like, it's so amazing. Dr. Catherine Toomer, who is a physician and a wellness coach, if you will. She's like, I signed on 6 new clients in the past 2 weeks. Dr. Bala, she's like, I signed on new clients off cycle. This made me realize I need to put myself more out there in order to serve more. Dr. Funke, she's a sleep medicine doctor. She's the founder of Restful Sleep MD. She's like, one of my Dream 100 connected me with a rep from a parent magazine, and I submitted a write-up to be published soon. Dr. Whaley Gray, amazing physician. She's the host of the Dare to Dream Physician podcast. So go subscribe to it. It's a really good podcast. She says, I signed a new client. I said yes, did a podcast interview. I got double the number of podcast reviews, a major mindset shift, and back in action, right? Like, isn't that amazing? Amazing. And this is one of my favorite ones because it's almost intangible, but it's so impactful for our businesses. She said, I'm really finding out my ideal clients' pain points and learning about therapies that I never knew of. I'm getting more than enough. Listen to this. I'm getting more than enough content. So I've decided to go with video as my main form of social content on social media. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, she discovered these are their real pain points. That's what happens when you put yourself out there. The audience will give you your material. They will tell you what hurts. They will tell you what to tell them. Okay. And so that's so good. Another doctor, Dr. Peterson, this totally blew my mind because she's part of the EntreMD Business School. I saw her 4 weeks ago at this time at the retreat. And she's like, I just got booked to be a paid speaker in 2022. I started a free monthly webinar for the medical students. Our first session is on Tuesday. She's like, I launched the webinar under Savo Sisters, which will be her podcast name. I'm launching my podcast next month. I'm speaking at 3 grand rounds and the Launch and Learn to Grow My Clinic this month. I'm like, woman, we're only on day 8 of this challenge. What in the world? Right? So she put that out there. And Dr. Liz, she says, definitely had a shift in mindset, start gaining momentum in multiple areas. I'm taking less time. Listen to this, okay? I'm taking less time between thinking about doing something and taking action. And I could go on and on and on. I mean, like there are just so many of them. But this is what happens every single month in the business school. Every single month. Every single month. So imagine throughout a year, you have the opportunity to create a massive shift in your business. Massive mindset shift, massive action shift, and massive shift in results every single month. Think about it, right? Okay. So that's another thing. That's the third thing that happens in the business school. The fourth thing is they have access to a private Facebook group. And I say that this is the most positive place on Facebook. And not toxic positivity, like real positivity. So you have this community of doctors who they're sharing their challenges, they're sharing their wins, they're being vulnerable, they're normalizing the journey of an entrepreneur. Because I don't know about you, but when I started off as an entrepreneur, I interpreted everything like I was doing it wrong. So if I felt discouraged, it's because I wasn't doing something right. If I wasn't getting the results right away, it's because I wasn't doing something right. If I felt discouraged, then I was discouraged because I was feeling discouraged and the whole 9 yards. But here, everybody's like, well, I went to speak on stage and before I got on, this is, these are the thoughts that I had. And, I was like, whatever, I'm just going to do it. Remember what we say that fear can stay in the back seat. It just can't drive. And I went on and I did it. And I got 5 new clients because of it. And I got 2 new speaking gigs from that as well and blah, blah, blah. And so when you feel fear, you're like, wait a minute, apparently everybody feels this stuff. Right. And so it normalizes that experience. So people share the challenges, They're like, oh, I fell off. I haven't been doing what I was supposed to do. And I'm back and, I'm struggling with it. And people come out and encourage, or I'm going to go do a talk. Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. And people come out like, what? Everything you've done has prepared you for this moment. And, stuff like that. And it's so amazing. And people are vulnerable, which is great, which makes it such a safe space. And with the wins, I mean, we celebrate everything. I'm talking about first Facebook Live all the way to I hit $1 million in revenue this year. We celebrate all of it, every last one of it. We celebrate, oh my goodness, I just registered my LLC all the way to I wanted to hit $400,000 this month and I did it, right? And it's all in one community and everybody's learning from everybody else. It is so amazing. So you're free to be at whatever level you are and we'll just celebrate it. So it's a beautiful space, a space to be protected and preserved it's flat out amazing. So that's the fourth thing. The fifth thing is that we have special events, and I'm sure you can hear the smile in my voice because it is so good. I mean, think about the Facebook group I just described. This is virtual. Then imagine bringing these humans together in one place. It is magical. That is the only way to describe it. In fact, when we had our last retreat, which was our first retreat actually in person because of COVID and all of that, we had it at Hilton Head, South Carolina. And it was beyond unbelievable. It was so good. There are 53 of the doctors who came. In fact, my sister-in-law came, but she was on vacation. She wasn't there for the retreat. And she was like, I have a question. I'm like, sure, what's up? She's like, what is going on here? How come they all love each other? How come they're opening doors for each other, answering people's questions, helping them? How come I don't get it. What is going on here? I'm like, it's EBS. It's EBS. I am so amazed by it. And I can't even take credit for it. I think this I can't take credit for it. It's just so good. I'm just honored that I get to be a facilitator. I get to be a leader of the space, but I'm so grateful. It's so wild how good it is. And so at that retreat, it's kind of like, 2021 in review, and then what's 2022 going to look like, and what are the obstacles in our way that we can get out? What is the self-concept we need to change? What are the mindset shifts we need to do? And we did all of this in community. And it was so relaxing because, of course, we were by the ocean because Dr. Una likes the ocean. And it was so good. It was really, really, really so good. I'm going to put the link to the recap video for it in the show notes so you can check it out. It was really so good. Okay. But I want to read a statement that a doctor sent me just so you can get a feel. Remember, I'm giving you their experiences. So this doctor sent me a PM and said, this was the best all-physician event I have attended in my career. Okay. And then she goes on to say, and I was at a course on Maui where we kayaked and we took our classes on the sand. Like, just so you understand that, yes, I have been to phenomenal physician events, but this is the best. And she says, thank you for leading by living and learning, for owning your superpowers with grace and seeing them in others with love and endless encouragement. So crazy. So crazy. I still got chills. And that's not my first time of reading it. That's how good it is. Okay. And then so for our next event, it's coming in April. So for the docs who join the business school now, you get to attend. And this is not a retreat per se. It's a mastermind. It's strategically different. It's on purpose. It's different from the vision retreat in the sense that this is like, we call it the business makeover mastermind. It's like, think of me having tweezers and just examining every aspect of your business. And we look for all the things that are working, the things that are not working, the things that are fluff and all of that stuff. And we do a makeover, and then you leave with a brand new business, right? Like running diagnostics. It's almost like I come in, I take an HPI, do the review of systems, do a physical exam, I come up with a diagnosis, and I'm like, okay, here's the plan. It's going to be so good. So good. So that's going to be in April in Atlanta. It's going to be amazing. Of course, those are all the details I can give because it's exclusively for the students in the EntreMD Business School, but so good. So good. Okay. All right. So special events, we have those. Number 6 is special projects. Okay. So in 2020, we created an event we called the EntreMD Business School Expo, which was an event where doctors came to share their entrepreneurial journey, and all the speakers were the students from the business school. I actually didn't speak at that event. I was the host of the event. And I think 21 doctors signed up. And oh my goodness. So the reason why I did that was it started from this thought. I'm like, what can I do to help the doctors in EntreMD Business School elevate their self-concept? Like think of themselves as the geniuses how they are, like up level, right? Experience a paradigm shift. Like it's like a rubber band that was stretched so far that it can't go back to its original size. And I was like, oh man, if I put them on stage, well, that will do it, right? And that was the whole idea behind the expo. And I wish I could read you the comments from after it. People were blown away. They were like, oh my goodness, look at the amazing people that are my classmates. Oh my goodness, I've never been on stage, but I nailed it. And oh my goodness, I'm a great speaker. And it was crazy. It was so crazy, right? But yeah, that was phenomenal. And they got to see their stories inspiring others. They got to see the feedback others gave. And the thing about embracing things you're scared of or things that you haven't done before is that it changes you. It really does. It forces you. You have to get clear on your message. So you have to dig into it more. You have to get clear on your story. So you have to dig into it more. You have to show up there confidently. So you have to really work on your mindset. Like the process of pulling it off changes you. Okay. It just does, so we did that. And then this year I came to the same conclusion. I'm like, okay, so what do I do that will radically change the way they think about themselves? And so we're doing a collaboration book. So I and the doctors in the business school, we're writing a book, and it's about their journey, lessons learned, and all of that is going to be for the physician community is going to be a game changer. Okay. So we're writing, and the process of writing is, you have to pull out stuff and you have to get clear on your messaging, clear on your story. You have to own your wins. You have to, coach yourself through it. You have to do all these things. And so it's, you have to learn marketing because then they get to be part of the launch with me and see how these things are done. So if they want to go on and write their own book and all that kind of stuff, not even just their book, anything else they're doing, they've just learned to do it at such a higher level. And it's going to be so good. I am so excited about it. So they get to do that. They get to do that because I was just like, wow, what if they could add best-selling author? Like how cool would that be? Right? So here we are, and we have a book coming. So those are some of the things. When I say, if you are a physician entrepreneur, this is a place for you. This is a place for you. There is a place for you. I remember when I started my business in 2010. All right. So for context, there was nothing like Facebook groups and there were all these communities just flat out didn't exist. And I was alone. And to not just be in a random community, but to be in a curated community specifically for you and with one agenda to help you thrive, that is a blessing in itself. Like if you listen to what the doctors say about the business school, this is what you hear. This is the best money I have spent. This is the best community I have ever been in. I don't know where I would have been. And I'm not saying it I'm sure people will succeed even if they didn't, if they burn it on EntreMD Business School and stuff like that. There are other things, but the truth of the matter is why? I mean, this is right in front of you. You know what I mean? And, they're like worth every penny. The last cohort that re-upped, we actually had 100% re-up. Like 100% re-up for year 2 because it's a year-long program. And so it's a place for you. And I'm inviting you to go over to the website, entremd.com/business and go sign up. Okay. You may wonder, Will it be worth it? There are many doctors who have said that 100% is. You may be wondering, will I have the time? There are many doctors just like you who are doing it. Many of them who work full-time jobs, okay? And they've been able to negotiate. A number of them have been able to negotiate for 4-day work weeks and 3-day work weeks and all kinds of stuff. So the skills, the community and the skills and the things that you need to do that, you're going to get them, right? And you might be, is this the right time? But, entrepreneurship is like having babies. There is no such thing as the right time. There's now, and now is a great time. And you're like, will it work for me? Will it work for me? I've tried things like this before and it didn't work. To which I'll tell you, cut yourself some slack, give yourself some grace. Yes, it will work for you. You're a physician. You are a person who is into doing impossible things. And this is not impossible. So you'll pull this off too. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to get you that feel. If you have any questions or anything you're not sure about, you can always email me, Dr. Una at EntreMD.com. That's DRUNA at EntreMD.com. If I don't get to it, the team will get to it, but we will get to you, answer your questions. And I look forward to welcoming you into the business school. And if you're like, yeah, I know Dr. Jade will need this too, send this episode to Dr. Jade too. Okay. All righty. Well, as always, I am celebrating you and I cannot wait to celebrate even more things that you do. And this is going to be, we're going to have a fun ride together. All right. So I'll see you, my friend, on the next episode of the EntreMD podcast. Hey, if you love listening to the EntreMD podcast, I want to invite you to join EntreMD On Demand. It is my signature subscription program that gives you access to a library of business courses designed to help you do one thing as a physician entrepreneur, and that is to thrive. Just head out to EntreMD.com/on demand, and I'd love to have you join us. See you on the inside.